So what is going on, my fellow collectors? How is everybody doing today? Daredevil19 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Mezco 112 Collective Con Exclusive Wolverine. So let's get into it right away and start off with the box. So we do get a basic style box when it comes to the Mezco 112 exclusives. On the top here says 112 Collective, pose, plate, display. Then we do get the Mezco exclusive sticker. Then on the center of the box we do get the X-Men symbol. Then on the bottom says Wolverine and Marvel. And then the bottom of the box here does have the barcode and blah 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 stuff nobody cares about. And then here is the top of the box. And then here is the one side of it. It says Wolverine at the top with the X-Men symbol. And then Mezco Toyz at the bottom. And then the other side of the box, same thing as the one side, as you can see there. And then the back of it, we do get some awesome artwork of Wolverine right there. And this is definitely the best part of the box. That just looks so sick. But anyway, that is the packaging. Let's get this video to take a closer look at this Tiger Stripe Wolverine. Alrighty, taking a closer detailed look, and Mezco did a fantastic job with this Tiger Stripe Wolverine. The detail turned out really good, and the cloth clothing turned out very well on this piece. My favorite part is definitely all the head sculpts. They did a superb job with all three of them. The paint and sculpt, nice and clean. Really great job with the paint, and the sculpt just looks fantastic on him. It does look like Wolverine under the mask, and then the unmasked one looks exactly like how I picture Wolverine. They did a good job around the skin tone, around the mouth, and you can see the lines under the nose right there, and they did put a little bit of paint shading in those sculpted lines there. And then we do get a little bit of stubble around the chin there, like a 5 o'clock shadow. And then where the black meets the skin tone, nice clean paintwork there, and I do like how you can see the mask is sculpted so it looks like he's actually wearing a mask there. And then for the eyes, the paint looks great on him, nice clean paintwork, and they're nice and centered. And I believe it's a pearl white, kind of looks silver, but I'm pretty sure it's a pearl white. And then for the yellow, where it meets the black, nice, beautiful, clean paintwork, unlike Revoltech's Wolverine mask. But Mezco really did a great job with the paint on the head sculpt there. And just nice sculpt work around the eyes and the nose and everything, and you could actually see his ears sculpted under his mask. And then the ears on his mask are like a softer rubbery type plastic, as you can see there. Then we do get these seams, or these sculpted lines, running across the top of his head. And then they continue to the back there. Then we do get a few like straps or something, and you can see the stitching sculpted on all three of them. And I just really love that tiny little detail. So great job on the head sculpt alone. In the neck, we do get a few sculpted wrinkles. I do have like a random line of blue paint there, so that does kind of suck. And then on the front of the neck here, I have a speck of blue paint once again, but we do get some very nice sculpted wrinkles all throughout the front of the neck. And then the yellow on the mask and the neck match perfectly, but this is kind of basic for these Mezco figures. The cloth clothing is a little off color compared to the color of the yellow on the mask and the neck, which is pretty basic for Mezco, so you really know what you're getting into when you buy these figures, but that might bug some people, so I figured I would mention that. Now for the torso, like I said, the cloth clothing really turned out great on this figure, and I like these lines that they added on the cloth clothing. I think that looks pretty cool. And then we do get a couple tiger stripes on his shoulders there, and they look pretty good. You can see the stitching on there also for the cloth clothing. And then we do get some more tiger stripes along the side of the torso, and they turned out really good on each side also. So I really love the way the tiger stripe turned out on the torso on his cloth clothing there. And then the back here, we do get the stitching running down the center all the way down the back, and then we do get some more of those lines like on the front of the torso. So very good job all throughout the torso there. Then we do get his shoulder pads, which are on double hinges, which we'll get into during the articulation, but they really did a beautiful job with the paint and sculpt on these shoulder pads. I believe they put like a dry brush of silver on there, and it just looks really nice. Really great job on the shoulder pads there. Then for the arms, they did paint on his hair, but the hair is also sculpted on there, which is definitely awesome. And I always like when a figure company puts hair on Wolverine's arms, since he is a hairy dude, and he's known for that. You know what I mean? Wolverine is a hairy son of a bitch. But they did do a very nice job sculpting and painting the hair on there. One thing people might have an issue with is the elbow joint is a little off color compared to the rest of the arm. It is a little bit lighter compared to the arm there, so some people might have an issue with that. But they did put a little bit of paint shading on the elbow joints on the back right there. And then for the lower arms, I love the way the gloves turned out. We get those straps all around them. Then they did paint the buckles on all of them. Then we do have a sculpted sculpted tiny pouch on there, which looks really cool, and it's on both of them. So I really dig the way the gloves turned out. Then for his belt here, which is another one of my favorite parts about the figure, but one minor issue, it is a little off center. As you can see, it should be like that, but mine's a little off to the right there. They did a beautiful job with the X logo. I love the red paint that they have on there, and then the entire belt just looks sick. They did a beautiful job sculpting it, then they added a black wash all throughout it. Then we have the sculpted buttons, and they painted them silver as well. There's another tiny pouch, then we get another one back here, and then we get 3 more pouches on this side. So they did a really dope job on his belt. Now for the cloth clothing for his pants, we do get the blue underwear piece. Then they did put a few black lines on there, as you can see. I don't know if my light isn't picking it up for you guys or not. And then for the rest of the legs, you do see the stitching only on the inside of the legs there. So that's something I do like. Usually with Mezco, we see stitching running down the side of the torso all the way down to the leg, but it's not on this Wolverine figure. It's only on the inside of the leg there. So I really do like how Mezco did that. And then we do get some more of those lines, just like on the torso, on the legs there, and I like the way that turned out. And then we get some more on the back as well. And then for his boots here, they did a beautiful job with them. The sculpt just looks fantastic, and the paint's just very well done all throughout the boots. The laces look great, how they're all sculpted. Then we get the silver for the hooks or loops on his boots there. They did a very nice job with that. And these pieces here, they did like another, I guess, dry brushing on it. You can see the silver added on there, and it just looks beautiful. Really great job on that. And then the back of the boots here, we do get a bunch of straps with the buckles, and I like how they painted the loops and the buckles silver. On the left boot though, it should look like that, but it got like pushed in a little bit. I'm guessing it's from the leg, so I gotta try to pop that out so it looks normal like the right one. Then we do get sculpted wrinkles all throughout the boots as well. Then the feet, we do get some sculpted wrinkles on them. Very nice paint and sculpt all throughout the feet there. And then you could actually see the stitching on some of the spots on there. So really great tiny sculpt detail all throughout this figure. And then the bottom of the boots, we do get some treads and some peg holes. So overall, I think Mezco really knocked it out of the park when it comes to the detail on this Wolverine. I feel like it's one of their top figures that they have ever made so far. But anyway, let's continue on. Moving on to the accessories, we get a bunch of great stuff included with this Tiger Stripe Wolverine. One thing I do wish that we did get a yelling, screaming interchangeable head, and I also wish we got a pair of open hands like these, but with his claws out. But like I said, we do get a decent amount of pretty good stuff. So we do get a Mezco bag, of course, in case you would like to store your accessories in here. So we do get that. Then of course we do get a Mezco stand. So we do have the base with that nice X logo on there, and then we do have a peg on it in case you would like to peg Wolverine onto the base there. And then we do get the arm, so you can create the stand, and if you would like to do that, just unpeg the peg there with the arm, and then peg the arm into the top, and then there you go. You created Mezco's really good stands that they make us, and it does swivel at the bottom, hinges at the bottom, at the middle it hinges, also hinges at the top, swivels at the clamp, and then the clamp is also on a hinge. So we do get the base there, and then we also get a total of 8 interchangeable hands. So we do get a pair of fists, of course, which come on the figure out of the packaging, and beautiful tiny sculpt detail on these, and the paintwork looks great on them as well. And I love the texture on the palm of the hand on those pieces. I think that looks dope. And then, like I said, with the tiny sculpt detail, you can see the stitching running along the thumb down the side of the hand, and then you can see it on the index finger as well. I think that looks great. And then the top of the hand where the claws come out, beautiful paintwork and very nice sculpt as well. Nice sculpt on the fingers. And then you can see the stitching running along the pinky down the side of the hand again. So very good job on the fists here. And all his hands are very easy to interchange, which is always a big plus when it comes to a figure. But something I did notice with the open hands and the claw hands, they tend to pop off the wrist joint fairly easy when you try to articulate them on the wrist joint. So I do find that a bit irritating. The fists and the gripping hands stay on the joint fine. It's just the open hands and the claw hands. So we do get a pair of fists, and then we also get a pair of gripping hands here, and very nice tiny sculpt and great paintwork on these as well. You can see the stitching running along the thumb. They forgot to put it on the index finger. They got it on the left hand, but they forgot it on the right one, which does kind of suck. I mean, it's not that big of a deal though. But very nice paint and sculpt on the top of the hand where the claws come out. Nice sculpt on the fingers. And then we do get the stitching on the other side of the hand as well. So we do get a pair of gripping hands. And then we do get a pair of open hands here. And beautiful sculpt and paint on these. The palm looks sick. We do get the stitching running down the thumb and the side of the hand. And we get it on every finger. On the pointer, middle finger, and then down the pinky there on the side of the hand. And then on the ring finger as well. So really great tiny sculpt detail. And then very nice paint and sculpt on the top of the hand where the claws come out. So we do get a pair of open hands. And then finally we get my favorite, which are the claw hands. And they did an excellent job on Wolverine's claws. I love the paint that they used. And I like how they are actually sharp. And you can move them a little bit, but if you bend them too much, they will break. So be careful of that. But the claws really did turn out very well on this Wolverine figure. And then very nice job on the hand here. Very nice tiny sculpt work on that cool texture on the palm of the hand. Very nice job on the fingers. You get the stitching running along the thumb and the side of the hand and the index finger. Nice paint and sculpt on the top of the hand, and then we do get the stitching on the other side of the hand as well. So we do get those 8 interchangeable hands. And then we also get this demon type mask. I don't know what it's for or what it's from, but I know it's from one of Wolverine's stories. That's the only thing I know. But they did an excellent job on this. It is like a softer rubbery type plastic, and you can't put it on Wolverine's head. It's just like an extra accessory just to have. But I do like the paint on the horns, how it's black and then blends into that red. And then we do get some beautiful shading all throughout the mask and very nice sculpt all throughout it as well. And then the eyes, it's actually, they have holes in them, so it's like a miniature mask, you know, so I like how they did that. And then the teeth turned out really good on it also. So very good job on this demon looking mask. So we do get that. And then we finally get 3 interchangeable heads for Wolverine. So we do get the basic looking one here, which does come on the figure out of the packaging that we did take a look at before, and they did an excellent job with this head here. And the way you interchange his heads is fairly simple. It's just on a ball joint there, so when you want to put it on, just pop it on. When you want to take it off, just pop it right off. So we do get that one. And then we also get the angry teeth gritted masked face here, and they did an excellent job once again with this interchangeable head. Beautiful paint and sculpt all throughout it. I think the teeth turned out really good. I like the sculpt and the paint on them. We do get the stubble around the chin. Very nice sculpt around the flesh tone there. And then clean paintwork where the black meets the skin tone. And then same for the eyes. They're nice and centered. The paint's nice and centered on there. We get some nice sculpt around the eyes and the nose and everything, and beautiful paint. Nice and clean where the yellow meets the black, so very good job with that. And then we do get those sculpted lines on the top of the head, and then continuing to the back, we do get those straps with the tiny stitching on them as well. So we do get that one. And then finally, we get my favorite interchangeable head, which is the unmasked one. And that does look like Wolverine. He does look a little weird, but I think they did a really good job with this unmasked head here. I mean, we get some nice sculpt all throughout his face, like the wrinkles around his cheeks, on his forehead and eyebrows and everything. So really great job on that. Nice paintwork for the eyebrows. The eyes both painted looking in the same direction, so big plus right there. Nice job around the mouth and nose and everything, and I like the shading that they added in all the wrinkles around his face. I think that turned out really good. A nice stubble around the chin there. I think that turned out great also. And then the hair looks dope too. I liked a couple pieces hanging in the front right there. And then we do get his crazy sideburns. Beautiful sculpt all throughout the hair. They did a superb job with it. And then we do get some very nice shading all throughout the hair as well. Really great job on this unmasked head here. But anyway, that is all the accessories included with the Tiger Striped Wolverine. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review, shall we? Now for the height of Wolverine, to the top of his head, it looks like he's a little bit over 6 inches tall, and to the top of his ears, he's about 6 inches and 1/4 of an inch tall. And then here he is compared to the Articulated Icons Deluxe Ninja, the Revoltech Wolverine, and the Mezco 112 Deadpool and Daredevil. And then here he is compared to the SH Figuarts Civil War Captain America, the Mark III Ironing Board Man, the Homecoming Spider-Man, and the Good Smile Company Figma Avengers Hulk. And then here he is compared to the SH Figuarts Awakened Warrior Super Saiyan Goku and the Mezco 112 Punisher. Anyway, there's some quick comparisons. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review. So now for the articulation, and everybody knows this is Mezco's weakest point when it comes to their figures, but this Wolverine has some pretty good movement. So we do have two joints at the neck, the upper neck joint. You could get Wolverine to look up about that much, which is pretty good. Then going down, just looks down a tiny bit. Then we get some beautiful pivot at the upper neck there, as you can see. Then it does swivel, of course. Then the lower neck does go forward and back a tiny bit, so with both joints going down, he does pretty much look all the way down in both joints. He does look up decently. Then we do get a little bit of pivot at the lower neck, and then it also swivels, so pretty good movement at both the neck joints. Then we do get a point of articulation at the torso right under the chest, and that joint, Wolverine crunches forward about that much, which is pretty good. Does go back decently. Then we do get some very nice pivot at that torso joint, and then this is where you will get your swivel, but you can't make it swivel too much because, of course, the cloth clothing. Then for the waist here, just goes forward and back a tiny bit. So with both joints, he crunches forward that much and then goes back a lot, actually. No swivel at the waist, but we do get a tiny bit of pivot there. So pretty good movement at the torso and the waist. Now for the arms, the shoulder pads are on a double hinge. You have one hinge that connects to the torso and then another hinge that connects to the shoulder pad, and they can pop off easily, but you could pop them right back on very easily as well. But I do like the movement you get out of them, so you can shift the pad up or you could shift it back down. So I do like how they made them articulated, and it doesn't really hinder the arm articulation. So we do have a little bit of a butterfly type joint, but you get very minimal movement out of it, so really not the best movement there. But the arms do go out to the sides about 90 degrees. They do go up and down. We do have that bicep swivel. Then we have the double jointed elbows that bend in a little more than 90 degrees. No swivel at the glove, but we do have a ball hinge at the wrist here, so it does swivel and hinges back and forth. Now for the legs here, Logan can kick forward a little more than 90 degrees. The legs really don't go back that much. Then Wolverine doing the splits, he can almost do a full split. They almost go up about 90 degrees, which is pretty damn good. And then we do have a upper thigh swivel. Then we do have double jointed knees that bend back a little more than 90 degrees. Then we do get a little bit of swivel at the boot there. Then for the ankles, they do swivel. They hinge up a tiny bit, and then same with hinging down. And then really not the best pivot, but for Mezco, this isn't that bad of ankle pivot, but I mean, they really need to work on the pivot with their figures. For some reason, if you move it back a little bit, you get more pivot out of the ankle there. And I've noticed with my Mezco figures, when you articulate the ankles a lot, their ankle joints can get very loose. So just be careful with your Mezco 112 figures. But overall, I think we do get some pretty good articulation with this Wolverine. Definitely not the best, but for Mezco, it's pretty good. And you're going to be able to get them in some good Wolverine-like poses, and I'm about to show you some of them right about now. But anyway, that is my review of the Mezco Exclusive 112 Collective Wolverine. Hope you enjoyed it. If I had to rate this figure between a 1 through 10, I'd have to give it an 8.5. If you would like to know the price and where to buy this figure, I did get mine from New York Comic Con. That was really your only way to get it, or when Mezco did put it up for pre-order, because you're only able to get this type of exclusive from Mezco. I guess your only other chance is really going to be eBay, or maybe Agelessgeeks. Maybe might get this at his booth at Frank & Sons, but not 100% sure about that. And whenever you buy from Agelessgeeks.com, don't forget to enter in code name Daredevil, and you will get yourself a 5% off discount. I will put more information in the description below. And if you would like to support the channel, don't forget to subscribe and click on that bell icon. And if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, just give it a thumbs up anyway, because action figures are awesome. But thanks for watching. I will see you later. let's get into it right away and chippity boo boo. I didn't know what to say, I don't know why. So we do get a basic style box when it comes to Mezco's exclusives, what the heck. So we do get a basic style box when it comes to Mezco's damn it, did it again. So we do get a basic style box when it comes to Mezco's wawas. So we do get a basic style box. So on the top here says Mezco. So we do get a basic style box when it comes to the shibbity choppity babadoos. And then the bottom of the box, does have the, what the hell was that? Does have the, I added like an R and does. And then the bottom of the box here does have the barcode and blah blah blah, so nobody cares about. Ouch. Damn it. Deadpool, the Cheapy Cha, and Tukita Pow. The Rebotech Wolverine and the Mezco Deadpool. The Homecoming Spider-Man and the Chibi Oyama and Tukita Pow. Hinges at the bottom, hinges at the top. Damn it, that's the middle and that's the top, you bastard. Wolverine. So let's... Whoa.